What if everything you were told about the discovery of America was a lie? Long before the ships of...
Secret number 1. The Great Migration. For decades, we believed they simply walked across a land bridge, but new evidence...
The Kelp Highway theory proposes that these explorers used the coastline, moving faster than any land journey allowed, surviving on the riches of the ocean.
Secret number 2. The genetic ghost.
Secret number 3. The engineered jungle. The Amazon wasn't a wild forest. It was a vast, man-made...
Secret number 4. The stargazers. Ancient North Americans built cities that mirrored the heavens, tracking lunar cycles with a precision that rivals modern GPS.
Secret number 5. The forgotten metropolis. In the year 1100, Cahokia was larger than London.
Secret number 6. The first hunters. Recent finds in Mexican caves suggest humans were here 30,000 years.
Secret number 7. The silent resilience. These civilizations didn't just disappear. The history of the Americas is still being written. Every shovel of earth and every strand of DNA tells a new story of who we are.
Long before agriculture, the sea provided the foundation for the first great empires of the South.
Mastering nature was their greatest feat. They engineered corn from a tiny grass, a miracle of ancient biotechnology that feeds the world today. Their writing was not just pictures. It was a complex system of phonetics and symbols, capturing history, math, and poetry. They built thousands of miles of roads through the most treacherous terrain on Earth, connecting an empire without the use of the wheel. The Aztecs and Mayans were obsessed with time. They tracked the movements of Venus and Mars with more accuracy than European astronomers of the same era.
The coastlines have changed. Thousands of ancient sites now lie beneath the sea, waiting to tell us how these people first arrived.
Tenochtitlan was a marvel of engineering, a floating city that was cleaner and more organized than any city in Europe at the time.
They didn't just live in the wild, they managed it. Controlled burns and selective hunting created a balanced ecosystem that thrived for millennia. By studying ancient seeds, we find a story of incredible innovation, the creation of hundreds of varieties of potatoes and peppers.
Oral traditions were their libraries. Through stories passed down for generations, they kept the memory of their origins alive.
In the deserts of the Southwest, they built apartment complexes into the rock itself, cities designed for protection and temperature control.
Terra Preta, a man-made supersoil that remains fertile after thousands of years. It is proof of their maps were in the stars. They navigated the vast plains and oceans by reading the celestial patterns with unmatched skill. The arrival of the horse changed their world, but before that, they hunted these giants on foot, using strategy and fire. Obsidian was sharper than any steel the Europeans brought. It was a prized trade good, moving thousands of miles from its source.
Art was their history. Every pattern on a basket or a pot told a story of a clan, a journey, or a vision.
Did others arrive before Columbus? Some theories suggest visitors from the Mediterranean or even Africa, though the evidence remains elusive.
In the north, they mined copper 6,000 years ago, creating ornaments and tools that were traded as far south as Mexico.
The teepee was a masterpiece of nomadic design. Portable, ventilated, and deeply symbolic of
The Pacific Northwest tribes built wealth from the salmon runs, creating a complex society where status was shown through art and generosity.
I was here. These handprints are a haunting reminder of our shared humanity, stretching back through the millennia.
Teotihuacan. At its peak, it was one of the largest cities in the world. Yet we still don't know who its founders were or why it was abandoned.
In the far north, the Inuit mastered the cold, inventing the kayak and the igloo, technologies that allowed them to thrive in the harshest climate.
New carbon dating is shattering old timelines.
Nature tried to reclaim these cities, but their stones speak of a mastery over geometry and engineering that defies explanation.
The secrets of the past are not dead. They are alive in the heartbeat of the drum and the spirit of the dance.
If we could look back, we would see a continent as populated and as bright as Europe or Asia, teeming with life and ideas.
As the world warmed, the paths changed. but the spirit of exploration remained.
They were master healers, using thousands of plants to treat everything from headaches to surgeries.
The Clovis point, the first great American invention. A standardized tool used by hunters from Canada to South America.
The resemblance is no coincidence. It is the visual map of a journey that spanned continents and thousands of years. The rivers were their veins. Goods moved from the Gulf of Mexico to the Great Lake in a massive network of exchange. We are relearning everything. Our textbooks are being rewritten by the evidence coming out of the ground. Submerged history. The most important clues to the origin of the Americas may be hundreds of feet underwater.
They sought the sky, building places of worship and defense, where the air is thin and the stars are close. They were masters of the sea, understanding its currents and its giants with deep respect and courage. Their temples were astronomical clocks, marking the turning of the seasons with absolute certainty.
They used fire as a tool, clearing old growth to make room for new life, shaping the continent's landscape for thousands of years. How did they cut these stones? The precision of Tiwanaku remains one of the great engineering mysteries of the ancient world.
They shared this land with giants. Mastodons and giant sloths were once their neighbors, and their prey.
Their art was photorealistic. The Moche of Peru left us portraits of their people that look like they could breathe.
Gigantic earthworks like the Serpent Mound were built for ceremonies we are only beginning to understand.
To survive the journey, they had to be masters of the elements, finding warmth in a world of ice.
Every region had its own style. The Americas were a kaleidoscope of different cultures, each with its own vision of grandeur.
They knew the riches of the earth. Gold and silver were not for money, but for the gods, reflecting the light of the sun and moon.
They engineered bridges out of grass that could hold the weight of entire armies. Every year, they were woven anew.
Plants were their teachers. Tobacco, cacao, and sage were more than crops. They were a bridge to the spirit world.
Educating the next generation means acknowledging that this history did not begin in 1492.
The Vikings reached these shores 500 years before Columbus, but even they were just latecomers to an ancient world. Even in the swamps, they built great structures. Watson Brake is older than the Egyptian pyramids.
Drawings for the gods. The Nazca lines can only be seen from the sky, an ancient message to the heavens.
Every time you eat a potato, remember the ancient farmers of the Andes who spent thousands of years perfecting them.
Genetic links suggest Polynesians might have reached South America, trading sweet potatoes for tools long ago.
They didn't need modern tools to understand the universe. They had patience, observation, and time.
The Olmecs, the mother culture. They carved these multi-ton heads from solid rock, but where did they get the stone?
A world was about to change forever, but the foundations they built were too strong to be fully erased. We live on the shoulders of giants. The cities of today are built on the sacred ground of yesterday.
The secrets of the first Americans are our secrets. They are the story of human survival, ingenuity, and spirit. 7 secrets revealed, but thousands more remain hidden. The journey to discover the true heart of America has only just begun.